We don't know exactly what the impact's going to be. People are saying there's going to be more traffic flowing in. It's quite likely that that will be the case. And what we're working with now with our colleagues on both sides of the border is discouraging vehicles from coming in to Gibraltar. We're looking at the possibility of a park and ride. It follows a treaty. There's cooperation with our neighbours in
where
La
it was
Linea.
originally going to be at the
That
entrance
is still
to Devil's Tower
under
Road?
discussion.
Right.
It need not necessarily be on this side of the border. And these are discussions that are going on. Obviously, we have to enhance public transport, and we're looking at changing the location of our bus stops. This is something that we're working on now with a view to having in place as soon as possible.
John, you are also, I'm afraid to say, incapable of answering a very fundamental basic question which has been raised by Ros in relation to what is going to happen when we have a free-flowing frontier. Indeed, no border. That is a failure on the part of this government. And you should be, with the greatest of respect, in a better position when on the 15th of July this thing happens to be able to hit the ground running.
Damon clearly doesn't have all the information, but it is not possible to make firm plans until you know what's going to happen. We have plans which are being developed, and they will be public in due course, and not so long from now, which will reconfigure the traffic at the border. So we have a very strong technical team working on it.
Important to point out how shocking I think the first few words that came out the minister's mouth was in response to your answer when you asked what will the government be doing to managing increase in traffic, and he said something to the effect of, well, we don't really know at this stage what the impact's going to be. And you think, having been working towards this, having the professionals at hand and people to carry these assessments, you'd have some idea of what kind of impact the flow at the border is going to take. The minister then says that they're considering relocating bus stops and maybe changing how we come in through the frontier, but there's only one way to come into Gibraltar, which is through the Kingsway Tunnel. So the bottleneck isn't going to go anywhere.
There was a lot of work at the same time. As much as we knew that the treaty and how it was going to look, we had to plan for an NNO. We had to plan for a no-deal scenario. So a lot of work went into that, as well as a lot of work going into what was going to happen with the treaty. And now we're actively putting into practice the plans that were made when the treaty was going to come.